Councilmember Thomas.
I have lots of thoughts, so let me gather myself. So I want to be clear. I don't think anyone is more upset or was more disturbed at yesterday than me. I'm still unsettled by those comments. They're troublesome, especially since that morning we had a housing committee and we talked about 28,000 Houstonians on a waiting list just to get a voucher to go into a unit. Well, we also talked about the 7,000 units that the city has completed in terms of preserving affordability, in addition to the 12,000 from the Housing Authority. So one, I was somewhat put off by the editorial board's comments that the city council is afraid of affordable housing. The data, that's not true. The math ain't mathing on that. So I want to be on record to say that. The editorial board said the city council is
I'm sorry, I hadn't read those pages in over a year.
And so I just want to be on record that separate of, there's multiple, it's nuanced, and anyone in housing knows it's a technical industry, but it's also very nuanced. As we know, neighborhoods have their own story. And why these projects, why we do engagement, because what's happening in A is totally different from what's happening in K, right? So no one's more disturbed at that, because I lived in an apartment at a period of time when I was in grad school. That's me, right? I couldn't afford anything else but $500. That was me. But I also think one of the ways we get ahead of that is for developers to engage in community, to talk about the realities of what affordability is, making sure that no Houstonian is paying more than 30% of their income. That's affordability. It's not you people and them people and we're high end. It's none of that. It's 30% no matter what you make. You should have an option to live in something safe and clean and accessible. That's that. Now, the third piece to that is this is a state process. So even coupled with all of that, I just want us to be mindful that we don't want to interject in that. They still have to be scored at Austin. They won't hear anything until June. The issue with voting no now means they don't get to apply, meet the deadline by next week. So that's why we build in the 2 tags so we can have these conversations, give developers courtesy, communities to do that. He failed to do that. He failed to do it, and that's a problem. But however, what I don't want us to be in a position of is being on record saying no, because I'm still thinking about the attendance clerk at Lamar High School. I'm thinking about the security guards that sit at the desk at City Hall and let all those public speakers in and gave them their badges that don't make the money that would probably choose to say that. I'm thinking of them. So the resolution of no is almost like no contest when you have clients at courts, no contest, right? It's similar. So at the end of the day, they still have to make the financial requirements, the environmental study, the traffic study. They still have to meet all of that at the state level before it comes down. Out of the 16, again, we might get 6 or 7. We might. And citywide, we have a history of approving projects on the west side. Districts F, J, and K got none this year, no applications, and we were eligible for 2 or 3. So I think that whole editorial piece got me another whole kind of way. But also those comments yesterday, we have to continue to challenge that and push back on that and say no, and then tell these developers, once you apply to this program at the city of Houston, that's an expectation at a local level, and they have to meet that. But the resolution of opposition, I'm sorry, the resolution of no opposition is the very best position for us to be in. It's the very best position for us to be in. It's a tool that's afforded for us to use because we get to make those decisions at this local level. Thank you.